So what's the question?
Okay, so just the different ways we'll have to use it on the exam. One of them is, I remember...
So if you're good at setting it up, like for a location. And
Yes.
remember, you always want your poles facing the right ways, north facing north, south facing south. If they say for an observer at like negative, at 30 degrees south latitude, remember that that's your negative latitude, so you put negative 30 below your zenith. Let's see, and so say if we had this set up for something, they said, what constellation is at the zenith at sunset? You kind of get down at eye level, get your sun, just even, kind of cut it in half with the horizon, and then, you just look, this is a bad example because there's a couple that are kind of right there, but then you just look right below the zenith. And then, so whatever constellation this is, and remember those dotted lines separate your constellations. Like if right there is below your zenith, then the constellation is Lynx.
Okay. And then the specific example you just used, what coordinates were you using?
For that, I didn't use any. Let's see.
Well, like
just
what
whatever
would the question be where that would be the answer?
Yeah, for that would be like for an observer at. Let's see, for an observer at 50 degrees north latitude and then where's the sun at? On April 21st at sunset, what's the constellation at the zenith? And so remember, if they ask it,
you got to put it on the western
horizon, and then just look right below the there. And actually now it kind of shifted a little, so now the constellation below the zenith is Ursa Major.
Okay, and I mean that was another thing I had problems with is whenever it asked you like the date, like what to find on a date. I know the yellow line is the sun, so that's what separates the date. So. Could you give me an example of like how you would set up a certain date?
Yeah, for setting up the date, it's just where the sun is along the ecliptic, which is the yellow line. So like if they ask it for a certain date, say June 10th, you're going to put the sun at June 10th, and then you're done messing with the sun for that question. So if they ask about what's going on at sunrise, you'll put it in the east. At sunset, you'll put it in the west. If they ask about noon, you'll put it on the meridian, and so on.
Okay. All right. So is there any other questions using the sky globe that will be on the exam that might be helpful to know in terms of how to use it?
Right ascension, declination, if you know how to find those.
Yeah, I know declination is this red line, right?
That'll be right ascension. So that'll be your east and west. And the declination, remember that this is your declination dial.
Okay.
So the easiest way to find the declination for a star, for example, is say you're looking at that star. Right ascension, declination don't change, so it doesn't matter how you have your sky globe configured. So you can just go ahead and put it at the declination dial, and then you can read the declination right off of there. And then for your right ascension, follow it straight down to the equator, and then read your right ascension off of the numbers on there.
Okay. So what never changes again?
Right ascension, declination never change. Altitude and azimuth change. So you can find your right ascension declination on the sky globe. For the azimuth and altitude, you'll use one of these, and that's where they give you a configuration. You have to leave it like that. So if they asked, this is kind of a bad example since it's right on top of it, but we'll go like this. So say we had it set up like this, and it asked what is the altitude and azimuth of Capella at sunset. Get down, kind of cut the sun in half with your horizon. And then Capella's right there. So to find the altitude and azimuth, you take this thing, you put the top tip at your zenith, and kind of cut your star in half. And then you can read your altitude off of this, and then follow it down and read your azimuth off of the horizon.
Okay, yeah, azimuth right there.
Yep, azimuth is where in the horizon, and then altitude is how high in the sky.
So to find the declination, all you have to do is move the constellation and then find it right here, like wherever it is on this.
On the meridian.
Yeah, where for the star. Yeah, they won't never ask you what, because the constellations are span a lot of different declinations.
So then, like Ursa Major, this one with the B, its declination would be then like plus 55. Okay, and then you would follow the line right down. So then the right ascension would be about like 10.9.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and let's see if there's anything else.
How to set the time?
I'll be honest with you. What do you?
Oh, sweet.
Um,
And you said just the day, you just look along the...
yeah, along the ecliptic, and then so if they ask for a specific day, you put the sun on that day. That's how you set the globe for a given day.
Okay.
Anything else? Yeah, and know the Bayer name. You know the difference between the proper name of a star and the Bayer name.
Wait, can you do that one again?
Yeah, so like the proper name is just the actual name of the star. So for Capella, it's just Capella.
Capella is.
You know, that's just the name of the star. The Bayer name is how bright it is and what constellation it's
Bayer
in.
brightness.
So Bayer is brightness, and that's the Greek letter. So alpha is the brightest star, beta is the second brightest
Bayer.
star, and so on.
And
then
you just-
what constellation it's
yeah.
in. So like
So
for
like
Capella,
yeah.
the Alpha Auriga, because
Alpha
it's in the constellation. So for the
Bayer
Bayer
name.
designation, you need the constellation that the star's in, and then whether it's the brightest star, second brightest star, so on.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. And yeah, you know, on the
So the Bayer name is always